Hello friends, welcome to you all on my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to discuss about the interpretation or analysis of D-10 chart. How are we going to analyze D-10 chart? So before starting this analysis process, let me tell you some things, some facts like there are so many concepts, there are so many rules and regulations that we apply to analyze a D-10 chart. But it's not possible to cover all those aspects in one video because it's going to be too lengthy, too much chaotic also. So I want to keep this very simple so that even a fresher or someone who has just started learning astrology can also understand. So here I'll be explaining you only 2 or 3 points that you can successfully apply to check how the D10 chart is going to work or what kind of results we can get it from the D10 chart. So another important thing is that I must tell you before starting the explanation of D10 chart. We need to keep in mind that we first need to derive any kind of result, any kind of possibilities from D1 chart. We have to check first D1 chart thoroughly because D1 is the base. D1 is going to give you the signal. D1 is going to give you the possibilities. D1 is going to show you what kind of things you can derive from this particular chart. D10 or any other work only D9, D7, D12, all these charts are helpful to go for conformity, whether the same thing is reflecting there or not, and to decide the intensity of that particular event that is going to take place. Suppose if D1 is giving you a kind of hint that the person is going to be a very famous person. So what level of famous is he going to get? Is he going to be an internationally acclaimed personality, or is he going to be famous at national level, or he'll manage to get fame only in his own circle or whatever you say in his district or what? So intensity of the event and the confirmation of that event is decided from a particular work chart. So now today I'm going to discuss about D10. So D10 is more connected with the fame, name and career. So all those possibilities we check from a D10. I'll be taking an example of a suitable person, and let me tell you, the person is his name is actually is no more. His name is Harshad Mehta, and he was a very well-known scamster of India. He was the person who actually managed to have such kind of scam in 1992, around 1992, 1993. He was caught by police, and that time it was one of the biggest scam ever done in India, at least by one person. There was no political party involved. There was no mafia or syndicate was involved. Only one person managed to have the thousands crores of rupees scam. So we need to check in his chart whether such kind of tendencies and whether such kind of first a person who's a criminal minded person or a scamster we need to check his from his fourth house, because fourth house is our inner personality, the way we think, the way we want to perform, the way we want to live the life. All these things can be very well interpreted from the fourth house, because it is the mind that we first think, it is the mind that we first plan, and then we execute. Execution comes to 10th house. But planning is very, if someone has negative planning, if someone has notoriety in his mind, he'll definitely do something negative. Maybe early part of the life or the later part of the life, but definitely he'll perform some kind of that thing. So first we need to analyze the fourth house, then it comes to 10th house for execution. So I'm just sharing the D1 chart of Harshad Mehta. You can, the chart is reflecting on the screen. You can see the chart will be there for around 40 seconds. You can check, and I would suggest you all to note it down the details of the planets. I'm just reading it out. about the details. He is an Virgo ascendant person. Second house Saturn exalted, fourth house Mars Rahu, 10th house Jupiter, Mercury and Ketu, 11th house Sun, Moon together, and 12th house it's Venus. So this is the house. Now I am going to interpret D1 chart first. What kind of indications are we getting from this D1 chart? Since he is a well-known scamster, look at his fourth house. Fourth house under the influence of Rahu. Mars, which is the most negative planet for Virgo ascendant, is also there. Moreover, Mars is retrograde also. So Mars is getting high level of strength. Retrogression is a kind of strength. And Mars makes a person fearless. A fearless personality is the foremost requirement to commit any kind of crime. Any person who has cowardice tendencies will never commit a crime. He'll always be, at the back end, but he can never be, coming in front and committing the crime. Harshad Mehta has done everything by himself. He was not actually, working behind the scenario. He was the leader at that time. He planned everything and he executed himself as well. So this retrograde Mars in fourth house gives such kind of strong willpower, but negative, because Mars is a negative planet for Virgo ascendant. Secondly, it is sitting with another negative planet, by default negative, Rahu. So Rahu has magnified the Martian tendencies even more. Moreover, sixth lord Saturn is again aspecting the fourth house. Sixth house, again the house of competition, against the house of where we, sometimes we try to achieve things by hook or by crook. So this tendency has grown up like anything. Fourth house was under such influence. Now look at fourth lord also. Somehow the fourth lord is also under such influence, because Jupiter is sitting in front of Mars. So Jupiter is also under the influence of Ketu, Rahu and Mars. House lord, both are corrupted. Look at the Karaka. Karaka moon is in 11th house under the influence of Sun, losing its power. When moon is under the influence of Sun, the person gets so much, you can say the emotions or the emotional values are very much absorbed by Sun, and the person is more about profession, more about getting success. By any means. Most of the in the cases of criminal personality, you would see people are born on Amavasya or full moon. Okay, and now the Karaka moon is also under the negative influence. Not just Sun, Saturn is also having the aspect on moon. Mars is also having the aspect on moon. So moon, fourth house, fourth lord, everything is under the negative influence. So he is, his software was totally corrupted. He always thought of getting billions by any means. Whatever he has to do, he was least bothered about it, but he wanted to be a billionaire. That's what his inbuilt personality was. Now, why he executed all his plans? Sometimes we also have such kind of tendencies. We also wanted, many of us may be having such kind of thoughts to earn billions by any means, but we couldn't execute our plans. Why? See in his case, his fourth lord is in 10th house. It means whatever he was planning, he was very much decided. He was very much, sure of executing also. And again, the 10th lord is also having very close conjunction with Jupiter. There are only 2 degrees difference. So when 4th lord and 10th lord have very close connection, it means the person is having such tendencies that whatever he is planning, he'll definitely execute. Or whatever is not saying, he'll definitely that also execute. So such kind of personalities are reflected when 4th house and 10th house very strong connection, and 4th house is totally corrupted. So whatever plans he made sure that he executed all those plans, and he had got that fearless personality also because of Mars to execute all that plans. So if we look at his horoscope, D1 is clearly giving indications that this person have all sorts of negative tendencies. He's got the courage also, and he will definitely execute all these things. And when he executed all these things in the Mahadasha of Mercury, the Mercury is again connected with 4th Lord sitting in 10th house. This was the period when he planned everything and successfully executed all these things. Now, can we say 100% things that this is the same thing going to happen? So we have to cross check with D10 also. Strong possibilities are already reflected by D1 chart. D1 has given clear cut indication that yes, there are very strong possibilities that person is going to perform all these things. But before moving to D10 chart, let me give you another the aspect of this D1 chart. Why he managed to earn so much. Many of them, many fraudsters, scamsters try to do something. They are involved into negative activities also, but they couldn't manage to get that much. They couldn't earn that much wealth that Harshad Mehta earned. Look at his second house. Second house is house where you can say, which is actually represent the wealth we earn. There is a planet sitting Saturn, which is exalted. So second house is getting strength. Saturn is fifth house lord. Fifth house is house of all those speculative activities. Share market. He was a share broker and he did all those mishap in share market. So he could manage to earn money from there. The Karaka Jupiter is also aspecting the Saturn. And Jupiter is sitting where? Jupiter is in the most influential house, which is 10th house. So Jupiter is also in proper strength. And then another strong planet is aspecting another strong planet. So strong possibilities of earning wealth. And remember, Jupiter is the planet of wealth. Jupiter is the planet of all financial activities also. Moreover, the second lord Venus is sitting into the 12th house, the most comfortable house, the most loved house. Venus always wanted to be in 12th house. And I have seen, if you ask me honestly, 12th house Venus is the best placement in any horoscope. Not in case of Venus, it gives additional strength to the horoscope. So Venus is making sure the Venus is going to bless all sorts of luxuries, all sorts of things, whatever he is planning. So all these three combinations ensured that he could manage to earn so much of wealth. Those two things are clearly indicated by the D1 chart. Now we are moving to D10 chart. So again, the D10 chart will flash on the screen. Look at the D10 chart for 30-40 seconds. That chart will flash. You note it down. I'm just reading it out. What are there in D10 chart? D10 chart ascendant is the Leo. Leo is the ascendant. And the ascendant Lord Sun in 12th house. Rahu is the 11th house. Moon, Venus in the 9th house. Saturn, Jupiter and Mercury in the 6th house. And Mars, Ketu in the 5th house. So now we are going to interpret D10 chart. Look how the D10 chart is again confirming the negative tendencies and the negativity that is going to dominate in his profession. First point, always remember the first point. Any work kundli, any work chart, when it has ascendant 6, 8, 12 from the D1 chart, it suggests problem related to that work chart. Suppose if he is the Virgo ascendant. For Virgo, 6th sign is Aquarius, 8th sign is Aries, and 12th sign is the Leo. In his case, you can see the Leo is the ascendant of D10 chart. It means D10 chart ascendant is making connection with 12th house. So it is already suggesting a kind of negativity, but not huge, but yes, a kind of negativity regarding career, regarding his profession. Now, moreover, the D10 ascendant lord is also sitting in 12th house. See, look at his D10 chart. Ascendant lord Sun is in the 12th house, in the Cancer sign. Another negative aspect. Look at Sun in D1. Sun is again in D1 also under the negative influence of Saturn and Mars. So these all are the primary indicators of that D1. D10 is also confirming the indications of D1. So first the formula or concept we can successfully see in this house which is working is the D10 house is getting the ascendant of D10 is getting a connection with 6, 8, 12 house of the D1, and the Lord of D10 ascendant is sitting in 12th house. So what we need to check first, which house is connected in the ascendant of D10 with the D1, and where is the ascendant Lord of D10 is sitting. Both of them are negative. 12th house has a connection with D10 ascendant, and D10 ascendant Lord is also sitting in 12th house. Now moving to further things which are actually confirming. See, Mars, Rahu and Ketu are again connected in D10 chart. So it means the amplification of Rahu is highly working in this chart, because in D1 also they are connected and in D10 also they are connected. So another factor which ensures that the negativity of 410 axis which was reflecting in D1 chart is getting at the higher side. Now see, ascendant Lord, another fact we need to check where the ascendant and 10th Lord of D1 are sitting in the D10 chart. So ascendant Lord and 10th Lord of D1 are Mercury. D1 is Mercury. Mercury is owning both the houses. Look at the placement of Mercury. Mercury is in the 6th house with the connection of Saturn. Saturn is there, the most powerful planet, because Saturn is in the own sign. In D10, Saturn is own sign in 6th house. So Saturn is getting high strength. And Saturn is 6th Lord in D1 and D10 both. So somehow Saturn is related with scandals. Saturn is related with by hook or by crook things. Ascendant Lord of D1 chart and 10th Lord of D1 chart are again under the corruption of Saturn, under the negative influence of Saturn. Jupiter is also there, but Jupiter is again not in a favorable sign. Jupiter is also dominated by Saturn. So you can see the 4th, 10th Lord, ascendant Lord of D1, all of them are into a negative house under a negative planet's influence. So this horoscope, this kind of things are actually, reflecting the same thing which D1 is reflecting. Negativity, influence of Saturn, influence of Mars, Rahu, Ketu, influence of again the 6th house, which is the house of scandals. So somehow this person was involved into scandals, and moreover he did all his scandal in the Mercury Mahadasha, which is again in the 6th house of D10 chart. Another concept that I am explaining you here. First thing I explained you which house is connected with the D1 chart of in D10 chart. Look at the ascendant Lord of D10. Second thing is look at the ascendant Lord of D1, 10th Lord of D1 in D10. Third thing is that I'm going to describe you is look at the position of Sun in D10 chart. Sun is actually about fame. Sun is career. Sun is the level of success that we are going to achieve in our life. The planets which are making connection with Sun, these things also influence our career. Sun in D10 chart and the planets that are getting connection with Sun. It means any planet which is in conjunction with Sun or any planet sitting in front of Sun. This is the two way or any that a planet can make a strong connection with Sun. So look at this chart. Sun is in a negative house and 3 planets sitting in front of Sun, all of them are in a negative house. It is 6-12 axis. 6-12 axis is the most painful axis of any horoscope. This is the axis which is highly connected with the legal actions and the consequences we face after committing any crime. This is the axis which decides all these things. So you can see clearly in his D10 chart, Sun is in 12th house and 3 most influential planets are also sitting in 6th house. So how a planet which is making a connection with sun or sitting in front of sun influence a person's career. See, for example, if Jupiter is in front of sun or making connection with or in conjunction with sun, in that case the person will very much affluent in case of financial activities, or maybe a very good teacher. All those things which are under control of Jupiter, the person will be very good at all these things, or all those things will influence the career of that person. Look at this person. He was totally involved into financial activities, share market, everything about finance. The once the Mercury is having any connection with sun, in that case the person is very much business minded, business oriented, and the person was obviously business oriented. He knew all the skills how to make money, and he was very good orator also, because he could manage to convince thousands of people to invest in the companies wherever he wanted. That's what his extraordinary speaking skills, that's what his extraordinary presentation skills that are referred by the Mercury. When the Saturn is making connection with sun, it's okay, it's good in case of job. If someone is doing his main profession is job, in that case the sun's connection with Saturn is good one. But when someone is doing some kind of its own work or some kind of business, the connection of Saturn is not really considered great with sun. And he was a person who was actually doing everything by his own. And again, the Saturn is sixth lord in both the horoscope, so connection with the sun wasn't actually positive for him. So if we conclude all this, we can see that whatever negativity regarding career, regarding profession was found or discovered in the D-10 chart, almost the same things are represented or reflected by the D-10 chart also. That's why he could become such a great, such a huge scamster, and he was caught also, and he had to face the consequences, judicial consequences also, and probably he died when he was in jail. He couldn't get free from that. This was, and I would request you all, or I just suggest you all also, especially those who are not from India, because people who are from India and listening to me, they know who is Harshad Mehta. But who are not from India, I would suggest them to search on internet who is in Harshad Mehta, read about his life facts, and try to connect with this horoscope. And to everyone, whether he is from India or not, it is my quite polite suggestion to everyone. Search about him, read more and more about him, and try to connect his personality and the things that gone through in his life with this horoscope. This would rather enhance your astrological knowledge. So I think this much is enough. Just to before ending this video, I would like to summarize once again. In case of D-10 chart, we any work only, we need to check the ascendant. If ascendant has got connection with 6th, 8th or 12th house of D1, that work only reflects some kind of negativity. Second thing, we need to check the ascendant lord of that work only. If ascendant lord of work only is also sitting in the 6th, 8th or 12th house of that particular chart, like D-10 chart, ascendant owner is sitting in 6th, 8th, 12th house in D-10 chart, is not a positive sign. It's not a positive sign. Third is to check the what kind of career a person have. We need to check the position of sun and the planets which are making connection with sun. This is how, these are the 3 steps that we can successfully execute or apply in any D-10 chart to conclude or to study that D-10 chart. There are so many other formulas also. I'll be sharing in some other videos because it would be too lengthy and too much chaotic to understand. So I'm keeping it here only, closing it here. I hope you definitely enjoy this video. If you like this video or like the content, I seriously request you all to subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.